Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We have a full packed show. Tonight we welcome author Dane Reed. He has a book called Forget Having Kids, I'm Having Fun. He talks about why he decided to have a child-free life. Interesting conversation, but tune in for that. Of course, we have our hot topic sports and everything else. We do movie reviews. Chika has some great things he's reviewing tonight. So glad to be back. Remind you, all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. If you'd rather watch us, go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and comment. We appreciate you. Want to shout out Kenya. Happy Independence Day to our people in Kenya. And also our Christmas kindness giveaway. We do this every year. We've been doing this since 2011. We donate money. And we've done different causes throughout the years, but the last maybe 5 years or so, we focused on the homeless community here in Atlanta. So if you want to donate money, you can go do it at our Cash App, which is # The Stephen Knight Show. You can do it at our PayPal, thestephennightshow@gmail.com. But there's information on our website at thestephennightshow.com if you want to participate. What we do is on MLK Day, we actually take everything that we've collected, make care package, and we distribute on that day. So we appreciate you for your support over the years. All right, we got the gang here. This is our last show of season 12. Can you believe it? We made it. Linnea, how are you feeling?
I was gonna try. I sound like Barry White right now, though. Sorry.
That sound like Brittany Griner.
Right.
Sorry, my bad. She came early.
Well, all right. Well, listen, our question of the day is, do you prefer a real or artificial Christmas tree? I'll ask you, Linnea.
I prefer artificial. Because I ain't trying to clean up after the real tree.
Right.
So give me artificial all day long, and half the time I don't even want to put up the artificial because I'm too lazy.
What about you, Chike?
I believe in ceramic, although I don't do trees at all. We need the oxygen. Save the trees. Keep the oxygen.
Yeah. Naya, what do you all do?
Now you know I don't got no trees. I don't put no Christmas trees.
But when I thought about the question, I said, should I be asking I hear this?
But if we were to do it, it would be the natural.
The natural.
It would be the real trees. Yeah.
You know, I prefer the artificial just because when we were coming up, we would get the real tree. And I remember one year it didn't even make it to Christmas. All the pines were on the ground. And so I prefer the artificial. I've had the same one since 2017. I think I'm gonna invest in my new one next year. It still looks good though.
The only thing I like about with real trees is the scent that it brings to the home. That's the only good thing for me. Yeah.
And then once Christmas is over, you have to find something to do with the tree. You know what I mean? So you can just, someone said today on TV, 3 parts, put them together and they're already pre-lit. Put the bulbs on there. Well, tweet us at home and let us know, what do you prefer, artificial Christmas or real Christmas tree? All right, so it was kind of a slow day in news. So we'll talk about the Tory Lanez case. So the 30-year-old Canadian rapper, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, has been seen looking kind of dapper as he exited a white Range Rover SUV while wearing a suit with a cream-colored turtleneck underneath. He was flanked by several burly security guards who appeared to be on his son. I don't know what that means. Or could be holding a young boy. Oh, he was holding a young boy's hand by going into the building. He appeared to be in good spirits. He even dapped the photographer who made him walk into the courthouse. He was spotted outside of LA as opening statements beginning the Meg Thee Stallion assault trial. Now, Lanez was there for opening statements, and he stands accused of shooting fellow rapper Meg Thee Stallion in the foot back in July 2020. Meg is expected to testify at Lanez's trial and was reported to be at the courthouse. She'll be there tomorrow. But anyway, so what they're saying, the prosecutors are saying that, they got into an argument. It was Tory, Megan, and another young lady in the car. They got in an argument. They got out the car. He told her to dance, bitch, and shot her foot. But the defense has a whole nother story. They're saying that they were all at Kylie Jenner's party. Megan didn't like seeing Tory and Kylie in the pool together, but she started acting up. And so Kylie said, y'all need to go. They get in the car. And then apparently Megan and the other young lady, let me get her name. There's so much to this story. The other young lady, I'll find her name. They got into an argument. And so Tory was asking Megan, why is she mad, or why is she defending the other girl, something, because they've pretty much all slept the same people. They start name dropping the baby and some other high profile names. And so there's more to the story. And they were saying that although these aren't necessarily facts, the other woman's name is Kelsey. These aren't facts, this is what they presented in the opening trial. So it's a lot of mess. And, I see a lot of people on social media, a lot of people believe Tory. They said Megan has changed her story several times. But there are a lot of, women that are saying Black women are never believed when these cases happen. So I'll start with you, Chike.
Why?
I know I did a horrible job explaining this, but I didn't want to read this whole long thing because it's been a lot. What do you think about this case? Why are we still being subjected to it?
So I'm gonna take a quote from Toni Braxton. She said this to Tamar one time when her and Vince were being rowdy and acting up. New money. These are a bunch of young people with a whole bunch of influx of dividends, and they just don't know how to act and how to be. Mm-hmm. They were in a space where, and I want you to picture it, because they were at Kylie Jenner's party, right? They were in a space where the people that owned that space was used to having money. Right. Can we go back to, remember when the Lindsay Lohans and the Paris Hiltons and the Britney Spears and what was the other, Lionel Richie's daughter, Nicole Richie. All of them were hanging around each other, and you started to see the ones that weren't really from that set start to fall off because they couldn't hang, because they didn't really have the long money that way. They were new to money. And then how they broke up. And the Kardashians was a part of that too. And then they broke off and went their own way. It's kind of like that with these Black celebrities and coming into this money. They want to hang and they want to be a part of that in crowd, but you start to see them starting to slough off because they don't know how to behave with their new money. With the facts of whatever happened and what didn't happen, is it really going to matter at the end of the day? Because the behavior is going to continue. No one's going to grow up. No one's going to stop. So does it matter? And to be honest, why are we talking about this?
Right.
Just saying.
Exactly. There wasn't much to pick from. Linnea, what are your thoughts on this? They say that people never believe Black women. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with that?
Forgive my delayed response. I'm on NyQuil right
now. Oh yeah.
Listen. Based off of the doctor's report, she was shot. By who? Guess we're gonna find out during this trial. And as Chike said, you put yourself in a position. I feel like a little bit if Megan's mom was still here, then maybe she wouldn't be in certain positions. She really started wilding out and drinking a lot after her mom died, and she said that. So I'm not sure. Sometimes you get this money and you're young, and you just absolutely lose your mind, especially if you don't have any guidance. And it's a shame because she's doing on the other spectrum. She was what, Forbes under 30. She's graduated, she has a degree, but it's like that don't match with the persona that you have of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Like two completely different people, and you're fighting. Like she's really fighting to figure out who's going to survive. Is it going to be Megan Thee Stallion, the artist, or but I don't know what her real name is. Her real name Tina or something like that. Whatever her real name is, she's fighting between those two people in a world that will eat you up and spit you out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Naya, what are your thoughts on this?
It's ugly, you know. Again, one, TK's right. You know, I hate that we have to talk about things like this, but we're here. So I know in this legal case, you know, there's different types of lawyers. There's you know, legal, you know, document lawyers, and then there's trial lawyers. It's going to come down to which one of those trial lawyers has the best experience and the best track record. The judge is going to be looking at who did what that's illegal. They're going to be trying to uncover that, the judge. But the lawyers are going to be presenting a little bit of everything. So it's really going to be for the lawyers making both sides look bad. That one side going to be trying to make the other side look bad, the other side. So it's going to be hard for the public to choose a side based on that. But it's going to be very easy for the judge to decide what was committed as an illegal act. And if someone got shot in the foot out of negligence, even if they were shooting at the ground, that's an illegal act if they were not rightfully shooting at the ground. So chances are, if that was done by Tory or the girl, one of them are going to be found guilty of a crime. Now it's going to be ugly because don't nobody want to look bad. According to the lawyers got to make their clients look good, but it's going to get ugly because they're going to be throwing out all types of things, and that's why it's looking the way it's looking now. A love triangle slash, you know, this is a soap opera slash, I don't know, you know. So
yeah,
it's crazy, it's ugly.
I have a question for you, Nair. So
Yeah,
basically, from what I'm hearing that you're saying, it's going to get uglier and dirtier before it gets better. And from
100%.
what you just said, I'm thinking also too, either both of them or one of them probably should have legal rights to own and have a gun because it's going to go down.
Correct. Absolutely. 100%.
yeah.
Did,
Good.
Yeah.
lawyer speak or something, which is weird. You're just starting the case and you're talking about it. Wasn't it? It was Tory Lanez attorney made a comment or something, or
Yeah,
was that an off attorney? I'm not sure.
yeah, it was attorney, the one that was saying who Megan had been sleeping with, and then her and this other young lady.
It's like you're laying out your defense in public. Like, what's the thing? You're laying out your defense for the public because the public is already assuming, like, based off of what I've seen, people don't believe her. And that, you know, we know that that's a running theme with not believing Black women. And
Right.
that whole thing was about some penized and all that other nonsense. We don't know. But I found it weird that right before the start of this, that attorney would do that. But then again, that's him setting up the court of public opinion.
Exactly.
Of course.
We'll see what goes on in this case. But next story. So over the weekend, Diddy shocked many while he revealed that he recently welcomed a new bundle of joy named Love Sean Combs, leaving many people to wonder who the mother of the baby girl was. Well, according to the birth certificate obtained by TMZ, they never fail, Diddy's baby girl was born October 15th in Newport Beach, California, and her mother is listed as Dana Tran, who's 28, and she works as a cybersecurity industry. Now, details about the extent of the Diddy and Dana's relationship is not known at the moment, but it's interesting because a lot of people assume that he was dating Young Miami from City Girls. And so I've seen people kind of trolling her, saying, I know you're jealous, I know you're mad, you're the side piece. And she was like, what are you talking about? You know, she's having, you know, the internet, once they find a target, they'll attack. And they've been going in on her, on Young Miami, saying that she's going through depression and all. She's like, what are you all talking about? She said, half of y'all Diddy would never look at. You know, we're good over here. Were you shocked? I'll start with you, Nair. Were you shocked when you found out Diddy had this baby?
Yeah, it was a little shocking, to be honest, to see that in the headlines. That's the last thing I would have expected from Sean Combs. I'm used to hearing something about business or something about music or something else like that from him. So yeah, it was, because he's got all old kids now, pretty much, right? There's gonna be a big gap between his current kids and his former kids in this one. Yeah, it was shocking. It was shocking, but I mean, I don't know much about his situation with Young Miami though, so I don't know much about that part. But it was shocking, just that fact alone, that he has a new child.
Yeah. And Linnea, why do you think they're going after Young Miami? What does she have to do with this baby?
So I think part of the thing with Carisha is that, they've been public about, their dating. They're not in a monogamous committed relationship.
Right.
He's spending on her, he's lavishing her, and she's doing the same thing for him, and some other things, obviously. And I think what happens is people don't know how to count. You carry a baby for 9 months to term, and really you didn't hear about Diddy and Carisha until like really over the summer, like, when things started popping. So this whole situation with this new baby was like kind of maybe like overlapping in between maybe when they started, and it wasn't really where it is now. This chick was already pregnant. From my understanding, the chick is married. She's not even divorced yet. That's why they try to keep it under wraps. She's going through a divorce, allegedly. This is why her husband left her. But I guess my thing is, y'all really out here raw dogging on a consistent basis and just smashing, raw dogging every day. Y'all just raw dogging and throwing off people's pH balances, and y'all letting these dudes skeet all up in y'all for a check. Because ain't no way. And if she making bank, I hope her husband gets some kind of alimony, spousal support. Don't know what her background is, so they ain't dig that far. But need I mention, just recently, they not caught, but Diddy was out with another 20-something-year-old young thing having dinner. So it ain't like, he's doing, somebody said it right, he's doing what billionaires do. He going through his little thing where he in his 50s now, and you tapping into all these young carcasses to make you feel better and boost your ego. And one thing's for certain and two things for sure. None of them bras is Kim Porter, so they should never expect him to do anything remotely close and really he knew he messed up with her. Yeah. He knew that he can't get that back. He never gonna marry none of y'all. So y'all can swallow his kids, y'all can have his kids, you can do whatever you want to do. You ain't gonna be Kim Porter.
Yeah. Chike, what's your take on this? What's your take?
What I'm about to say does not reflect the views of the Stephen Knight Show. This is purely my opinion, and please don't at me. So let's play history. Let's go back in time and let's look at the trajectory of Diddy and what he's done as far as his romantic life. Kim Porter has been the alternate girlfriend, like Tide with alternate bleach. It's there if you need it, but it's not if you don't. Remember, J-Lo was introduced into the mix. J-Lo was what Diddy really wants. He wants a woman that can handle her own, and she's up in the spotlight, and she is her own entity within herself. That's what he really wants. That's why Young Miami was a part of his life, because she's her own entity. People look up to her. She's a celebrity of sorts. And he wants that, but he can never achieve that because they tend to outgrow him. Like Misa Hilton. Remember, she was a fashion stylist. That was his girl. That's his first woman. She rose up and she became this entity in hip hop culture that grew past him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have this woman. What was her name? The baby mom.
Dana Tran.
Don't forget Cassie.
I was gonna say Cassie. Y'all talking about Cassie? What about Cassie?
That was someone that he was building and trying to morph into what he wanted, but she just didn't quite make it there. And I don't even really count her because I think she was a placeholder. That's just my opinion. I think that would say what?
They were together a long time, but I see what you mean though.
Together though, we're gonna use the word together. Okay, together. They were together. But you can strategically look at the situation. There are women that had his kids and there are women that didn't have his kids, right? This was on mom until now. I think that he jumped ahead of the game and told the story before the story got told. Because he's really happy about it. 50 years old, you get a young girl pregnant and you're really happy after all your kids are grown. You're really happy about it. I'm just saying. I think you have to be happy about it because you're kind of caught out there. And you have this relationship with this public person. And how does that look in public? What is the public going to think about this new baby coming and you've gone on the record saying that you're with Young Miami? You got to work that out somehow. What choice does he have to be but happy about it?
Yeah.
I think it's messy. I think it's irresponsible. And I know that there's a life involved and it's a new child coming into the world. God bless the child. God bless the pregnancy and the birth of the child. But it's just a messy situation. I think a lot of these celebrities and people with so-called influence and that are in the spotlight dabble in mess. And I'm sorry that the baby has to come into the world with all this swirl around.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, find out what Dr. Umar Johnson says about polygamy, and find out what Cornell University said about couples who share joint bank accounts. Right back after this.